Hi, my name is Caroline MacDougall. You've probably never heard of me before, but you may have enjoyed one of the numerous herbal beverages I've created for top tea companies like these, as well as for my own brand of Teeccino Herbal Coffee. I'm one of these people that likes to think about and read about optimal health, and my products are devoted to helping people achieve it. Today, I'd like to introduce you to my newest creation, TeeChia, a high-performance cereal made from super seeds that has the power to revolutionize your breakfast. So what is it that we really want and really need from breakfast? Recently, several thousand people were asked that very question. And the consensus was that they wanted lasting energy because we all need that kind of energy to get us through the morning. We want it sustained. And they wanted satiety. Isn't that a great word? Satiety means satisfied fullness, so you don't feel hungry in the middle of the morning and start jonesing for something to eat. And they wanted mental focus, because mental focus comes out of good nutrition, and you want to be focused all morning long and not addicted to the coffee cup, right? Guess what 2 or 3 people said? They said that they weren't getting that from their breakfast, that their breakfast was failing to deliver those things. The answer is pretty simple as to why that's so. They're eating commercial breakfast cereals, and commercial breakfast cereals are made from rice and wheat and corn, all perfectly good everyday grains, but they don't have the super nutrition that you need to have that kind of energy to take you through the day. They also are made with lots of sugar, because those things don't taste very good without lots of sugar, and so commercial cereal companies dump a lot of sugar in. Then they put in vitamins, not regular vitamins that come in the ingredients themselves, but synthetic vitamins that they stick on top of it in order to give themselves some label claims for vitamins, because those cereals or grains don't really have much in them to begin with. And then finally, they puff it all up with air. You know, like those puff cereals. So what happens? People eat those cereals for breakfast and they get a rapid blood sugar lift, and they feel energized for a moment, but that lasts a very short period of time, because by mid-morning, they're suffering, they're hungry, they got low blood sugar, they've lost their mental focus, they're in the middle of a brain fog, and they want to eat again. Now, that's not what we want breakfast to do for us. And that's what I was observing in my family, because I was checking out what my husband was eating for breakfast. He was eating those little crispy shredded wheat things with sugar all over them. He was popping those things like candy. I mean, he hardly even bothered to put the milk in. I was looking at that going, oh my God, we're getting bigger this way, but we're not exactly getting the energy we want. Then I have this really nice tall son who's really thin. He's got one of those string bean bodies naturally that we all envy. And what was he doing? He was eating whatever he could, all those various cereals and whatnot, but he'd burn through them in an hour. And then what was he eating next? Fortunately, he wasn't gaining weight because he's so skinny, but he's going to get older. And then my other son was one of those, I can skip breakfast. I don't need to do breakfast, you know. I don't really have to have it. I'll wait till lunch. And then he started working out in the morning with a personal trainer. The guy almost fainted on the floor because he had low blood sugar so bad. So I needed to teach him about how to eat as well. So then I thought, what am I eating? I'm eating super seeds. I'm eating these seeds in my yogurt, but every morning it's taking me a whole lot of time to assemble them. So what did I do? I thought, I'm going to create something that's going to taste good, because those guys are not going to eat it if it doesn't taste good. So number 1, it has to taste good. 2, I'm going to make it full of super seeds, so they're going to get tons of ingredients and nutrients and be nutrient dense and have everything they need. And I'm going to call it TeeChia, because I love chia seeds, and they are the star of super seeds. And guess what? It also had to be quick and easy to fix in under a minute in the morning and keep us energized throughout the day. So let me introduce you to super seeds, because as you can see, I have them right here in front of me. I want to show you chia. Chia, as I said, is really the star of super seeds. And you're probably, if you're into health, you're reading about chia, you're thinking about chia, but I've got a lot of good information on this website, so take advantage of it. Chia is something you want in your life. Trust me. It is the superfood of the Aztecs. Flax, breast health. Breast health and flax are just about synonymous. You want flax, if you're a woman particularly, in your breakfast in the morning. Quinoa, high protein grain, high altitudes. In Peru, they basically live on quinoa and potatoes, and that's about it, and they're super healthy. Wonderful grain. Amaranth, this was the wheat alternative for both the Aztecs and the Incas. You could eat amaranth and make bread out of it, but no gluten. Very important. Ramon, I actually take ownership of Ramon, not because I discovered it, but because I've pioneered bringing it into this country for Teeccino. So if you're a Teeccino drinker, you know about Ramon. If you're not a Teeccino drinker, you probably never heard of it. Rainforest tree, 130-foot tall, upper canopy. The Maya rather called it the corn tree. So you'll know why when you read more about it on the website. And pumpkin seeds, which, by the way, another New World plant. All of these, except for flax, are all from this side of the hemisphere. They're all New World plants that were native to these Americas. And so pumpkin seeds, fabulous seed that was eaten by Native Americans. It's high in tryptophan. It's great and calming, full of nutrients. I took all these super seeds and I combined them with gluten-free, certified gluten-free, and organic oats. Getting certified gluten-free and organic in the same oats, very difficult, but I found it. Oats are a fabulous grain. They are the one true grain in all of this cereal. They are the grain that the FDA approves. And let me tell you, the FDA doesn't approve of anything making claims about food, but they do approve about oats, a heart-healthy claim, because oats are so nutritious for you and they have wonderful ingredients in them. Put this all together and I made TeeChia. And let me tell you about what's in TeeChia. So, you've got 1,100 milligrams of essential fatty acids, omega-3 essential fatty acids. It comes from the chia, the flax, and the pumpkin seeds. You probably have heard about omega-3 fatty acids. You need them. We don't have enough of them in our diet. We are swimming in omega-6, but the omega-3 fatty acids are hard to come by unless you eat a lot of fish, and frankly, getting them from plant foods is more sustainable. You also have 26 grams of whole grains. 26 grams of whole grains, which, by the way, comes from the oatmeal, from the amaranth, and the quinoa. All of those are considered grains, even though quinoa and amaranth aren't really grains. Actually, quinoa is related to beets and to spinach, not to grains. But never mind, they're counted as whole grains. You've got 26 grams of them in here. 48 grams is what you're supposed to have a day. You are more than halfway there by eating your bowl of TeeChia in the morning. You also have 6 grams of protein. Now that's real protein. That's not some extracted, soy protein that they use hexane and some other chemical solvent to extract and then, concentrate and give it to you. No, this is protein that's in all of these seeds right here that is going to come into your body like nature intended it to. You also have no sugar. I forgot to say that. No sugar. I talked about all that sugar that's used to sweeten commercial cereals. Even the natural foods type of cereals like the evaporated cane juice and the high fructose agave syrup, they're not much different than regular sugars. They're all refined, and when they come into your body, they jack up your blood sugar. So I use dates, you can see them here, and dried fruit, where the sugars are all naturally bound in fiber. That's going to slow the release into your body. So that's super important. And then the last really important thing that I want to tell you about TeeChia, well, there's never a last thing, but anyway, is the 6 grams of fiber. Now, we all know that fiber is great for us, and we all want to get more of fiber, but I'm telling you that the fiber in TeeChia is special. And it's why I've put on the package, and you'll see on the website, information about activating that fiber by soaking it, because that fiber has a high quantity of soluble fiber that comes from the chia and the flax, and also from the oats. And that soluble fiber is going to make a huge difference to your digestion. It's going to slow the absorption of the carbohydrates. So all my sugars that are in TeeChia are naturally bound inside the fruit, into the dry fruit and the dates. None of them are, refined and just able to go in your system right away. But with the gel that forms from the fiber, the soluble fiber in TeeChia, you even slow the release of those sugars further to get that sustained, long energy in your system. And then on top of that, that fiber does something really good. It helps you poop. Now, I know that we're not supposed to really talk about that, but the truth is, pooping with TeeChia is better than pooping without it. And there's a lot of people that will testify to that, so you're just going to have to check it out for yourself. So all these super seeds, these are nature's powerhouses. They're super concentrated nutrients. They have to be. All these little seeds are supposed to grow into a plant. So that's why you want them in your diet. You want to be taking in, you want to be feeding your body like nature intended. You don't want to be getting all of these refined, everything else, and then experiencing those blood sugar crashes and weight gain and everything else. By the way, if you're an athlete, I highly recommend TeeChia. Before your event, eat it about an hour ahead of time. You will find it will give you that sustained energy. And of course, if you've read about chia seeds, you know that the Aztecs ran on it for all day long, just with a little chia and water mixed together. So what more can I say? There is one truth about this all. TeeChia is more expensive than regular commercial cereals. And why is that? Well, it's made from expensive ingredients. And then on top of that, I didn't just put in a tiny amount. A lot of commercial cereals will say, made with flax, made with chia, made with quinoa. And then you look on the ingredient label and it's way far down at the very end. And that means that what they did was they put in an infinitesimal amount for label claim called fairy dust. That's what I call it. Fairy dust it in. No, not me. If you're going to get the real nutrition that nature intends for you to have, you got to have a tablespoon of chia. You got to have a tablespoon of flax. You really have to have the whole thing in order to, and several tablespoons of quinoa and amaranth and oats and all of that. You've got to have a lot of it in there in order to really have a nutrient-dense, every calorie counts. There's not an empty calorie in TeeChia, so that what you eat sustains you for a long period of time. So it's a little more costly, but I want to tell you something. Consider this. If you go to your local coffee bar and you look at the menu board and what is coffee, what do they have for a plain cup of coffee? It's something like $1.50, $1.75 for just one little old cup of coffee. TeeChia costs less than that. So your body deserves it for breakfast. You deserve to give yourself a really good breakfast that's going to keep you going all day long, and you got to spend a little bit of money to get enough of these ingredients to do it. So I invite you to take advantage of our introductory offers. We have a number of them on the website. Check them out. Experience the difference TeeChia makes for yourself, and you're going to agree with us. I'm convinced of it, and I really want to hear from you. I would like you to write me, because I like hearing about how my products affect people's health. So write me, but I think you're going to agree with us that TeeChia is the world's healthiest breakfast.